There's been some chatter on Reddit. I found this post, the little known FIFA rule that gives Isak all the leverage over Newcastle. It links to an article on ESPN, but actually I find the comments to be more insightful and informative in short bursts. So let's go through some of these comments, see what they're talking about. Very quickly though, the goal is 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Help me get there. For anyone who doesn't want to read the whole thing, it's about Article 17. And Article 17 is a kind of buyout clause when clubs and players reach an impasse and a club will refuse to sell a player, but a player will refuse to play. And there's a certain number of years on a contract, pretty much the Isak situation. And it gives the player the ability to force a move that the club has to accept. And FIFA will be the ones that will kind of negotiate the fee or come to a settlement for the fee. Long story short, Isak can't invoke it until next June, until after the current season ends. But it's effectively giving him leverage to not play for the season, i.e. be on the bench the whole season or be in the reserves, whatever Newcastle want to do with him instead. But he can refuse to play and then leave at the end of the season. Now that would be a weird thing to do, right, for a player, because World Cup year, you're going to want to be playing, otherwise you're not going to play for your national team in the World Cup. You're going to lose a lot of skills if you're not in match situations regularly. You can do as much training as you want with the teens. You can be in the gym for a year. That's not going to help your footballing ability, being sharp, being able to work with tactics. Your reaction speeds will slow down because you're not testing them. That would be a bad move for Isak, and that would be cutting his nose off to spite his face, right? He'd damage himself. And then what club's going to want him after a year of not playing football at all? That would be a ridiculous choice. But maybe the threat of it alone could help him in forcing Newcastle's hand. Someone questions it later though. They say, my understanding is that Newcastle would need to actively keep him out. Him refusing to play doesn't allow him to activate it. Listen, I don't even understand what Article 17 is, even after reading the ESPN article, even after reading these comments on Reddit. All I know is this is a horribly messy situation. All right, listen, this is what I think is happening and going to happen. I think Newcastle know that Isak's done at Newcastle. He's made such a ruckus. He's been so hardlined in his refusal to play. I don't think the fans will welcome him back. I think Newcastle understand that Isak is done at that club. They're just trying to get as much money as possible. And so you pretend to Liverpool that you're willing to keep the striker if they don't meet your valuation. Liverpool, on the other hand, know that Isak is done at Newcastle. And so why would you pay more than what you're willing to pay? It doesn't make any sense. You feel, if you're Liverpool, then Newcastle have to sell because it would just be so stupid not to, and then have a player rotting on the bench or unable to reintegrate. So you do sell him at somewhere between 110, 130 million, what they'll probably agree to. I think Newcastle will have to come down from the 150 for sure. Did Liverpool say to Isak and his agent, behave this way so we can drive the price down and force you out of Newcastle and then pay you double your weekly salary? They may have, and I'm not sure I like that. It's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter heaven, something like that. Every time there's lots of money involved, you just know that there's no moral behavior there. And so that's just the world we live in at large, but also the current modern football world. It's just cutthroat, isn't it? If I was a betting man, which I kind of am, I would say Liverpool end up buying Isak for around 130 million. Thanks for watching. Share your thoughts in the comments below. As I said, I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It's a small target, but for me, a beginner YouTuber, an amateur YouTuber, it's only been going for 2 months, that's a target. Help me get there. I appreciate you. Thanks. Bye-bye.